Good morning. I am so excited. Here we are, ZoeTV again. It's always fun. It's so fun to meet new people that we work with.
We love this whole
because
30
even if
minutes.
you know them,
That's right.
you learn stuff you didn't know. That's fascinating.
Our employee spotlight of the week is somebody that I have had the luxury of being with every Wednesday, taking part in our Parkinson's golf immersion and driving us. And I didn't know half the stuff he said today.
Well, and you've talked so highly of him when you come back, and all the residents feel like, it's fun. It's like a real TV show where you got the driver showing you around town. Yeah.
So
awesome.
we got a great show.
Mm-hmm.
We have got a resident of inspiration.
Perfect choice.
I'm excited to see what she's going to say, because she is a pillar of inspiration on this campus.
Yes,
on a lot of different levels.
Right.
I know a lot of people that are in circumstances look to her for guidance, and I am hoping we can kind of touch on that.
Well, exactly, and I know we're going to learn new stuff. We always do. That
we always
kind of went, wow.
We always do.
Didn't know that.
We thank you for joining us, and we are excited about another great episode of ZoeTV.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to ZoeTV. Oh, it's going to be a good one today.
I am so excited about this segment.
Yes. We are speaking with Nancy DePaul. And Nancy, we know you, and a lot of people on campus know you.
I know.
Because you work in the marketplace and you meet people all day long. But you also are really involved in GCA, meeting new people when they come on campus. So tell us about your journey to Glencroft.
Well, I came here 4 years ago last month, by the way.
Well, happy anniversary.
I haven't been here that long.
Yes.
But as soon as I got here, I wanted to get involved. I just can't sit around.
Sure.
So the first thing I did was go to the marketplace and say, do you need any help?
Good for you.
I got
Awesome,
hired on
yes.
as a cashier there.
Okay.
And then John promoted me to a manager. And then from there, I saw him doing so much work. I felt sorry for him. So
Yeah.
I said, can I do the orders for you?
Yes.
The food orders. And I said, oh, he was like, yeah, you can do it.
And John Smith we're
Yeah.
talking about. Yes, yes.
He was, because he's into so many things.
Right.
He is.
And I joined Wii Bowling as soon as I got here because I love to bowl. And even though I can't bowl anymore, I can.
Yes.
Still got an arm.
Bowling,
Yeah.
yes.
And then I don't know why I got into GC. I think John might have
Probably.
encouraged me
Yes.
to get into, oh yeah, a member at large. I started out as a member at large. Now I'm a member because I'm the manager of the marketplace.
Right.
However, John still does a lot of the work behind the scenes work.
Yes, he still does. He's so promoting of
Yes,
you.
yes.
He has been really your biggest fan.
What's really embarrassing to me is, because I wear my name tag at work, is that so many people know me and I don't know them. And I walk around and everybody's, hi Nancy.
Yes.
And I'm like, hi.
Don't you love name tags for that reason?
I do. But I don't know everybody else's name because the store is so busy.
It is.
Yes,
busy.
it is busy.
It's really busy, and so many people are grateful for the marketplace. They about died when you guys shut it down for a couple weeks.
Well, I know. I know.
Residents tell me all the time, thank you so much. And we do special orders for stuff. We can't carry everything because we don't have the room.
Right.
But we do the special orders, which was John's idea. If we don't have it, just tell us, we'll order it for you.
Yep.
And people love that.
That's
The
so
residents love that marketplace. I love the marketplace.
Right.
Well, it's so convenient, and you don't have to, especially with COVID out there, get
Especially
off
with COVID.
campus and try to navigate the waters of a Safeway or a Walmart. Or it's like, man, to have that convenience right in the backyard, it's such a great concept.
Well, speaking of COVID, tell us and everybody, how has it changed for you guys? What have you put into place?
Well, for one thing, I lost all of my volunteers when you shut down the store. I lost all of my volunteers. So that's why we had to go back to, we started out 3 days, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. And then I kind of pushed Saturdays because everybody's like,
yes, I know.
can't get around to Saturdays.
They did say that, right.
Right now, I only have 3 managers, and I've got 3 cashiers. That's all I've got.
Mm-hmm. So that dictates the hours.
Yeah, that dictates the hours. That's why we're not open 5 days a week like we used to be.
Right.
Because we used to have 4 managers a day and 8 cashiers a day.
Oh, wow.
And
So
now-
are people just hesitant because of COVID?
Because of COVID, they're afraid
Okay.
to come to work.
Yes.
It's hard.
It is hard. It's what's been a hard part of all of this
I know.
is that where do you draw the line?
No.
You
Now, did
know?
you guys change? I know you guys only allow certain amount of bodies in the
2
store.
people at a time in the store.
Okay.
And we've really pushed that. Initially I didn't do that. I didn't even think about it. And then I just thought, wait a minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. If we're going to, enforce
Right.
COVID, then we can't have people wandering around.
Right. And it's small anyway.
is
So,
tiny.
And it's a very small store.
right.
So,
But I've walked by and I see people biting
In
by
lines.
that pretty well. They're lining
they
up
really
outside.
do.
They're waiting their turn.
and I
mean,
got to pick a number. People are like, can't you get one of those pick a number things? So I got one of those.
oh, that's good.
So they pick a number.
Yeah.
Because the lines get long
They do
outside
get long.
the door.
Right.
Absolutely.
And people feel like, hey, I was here before that person that moved
Exactly.
in. I know. That's
Didn't want
a
any
smart
fighting.
idea.
Didn't want any arguing.
no,
Right,
Minimize
right.
the headache.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number system.
Yeah.
That's very smart.
But I love Wii Bowling and I love working for the GC. I love being involved with what's going on with the residents here.
Very cool. So where were you prior to Glencroft?
I was in Texas when I lost my first leg.
Okay.
I came out here because my Aunt Karen, who lives here now in Court 7, she was the only real family I had to take care of me. Just learned how to walk with my prosthetic leg. Got a car, had it for like 2 months, lost my other leg. And I was living alone by then. And I fell one day. I fell on the floor. Well, once I'm on the floor, I cannot get up.
Sure.
And so I called my Aunt Karen, and she's like, and she's 6 years older than me, and she's got, I don't want to talk about her, start
Okay.
crying. She's got leukemia.
Oh.
But anyway, so she comes over, somebody was out working on their car, doing their grass or something, some guy, and she comes over with this guy to pick me up off the floor and put me back in my chair. Well, that's when I decided I've got to live somewhere where I can get help.
Get help.
Right.
And thank God for security, because all I have to do is pick up the, and I have. It just happens. I slide off my.
Right, right.
Sure.
So anyway, so that's why I moved here, and I love Glencroft. I miss the activities. I'm so glad you're starting to pick up a few activities.
I know. We are trying.
Ross and Tiffany Ross is like the greatest person in the world. I love him.
Yes, we would agree with that. He is
Never leaves. I
fabulous.
hope he never ever leaves us.
Great.
Well,
Yes.
I know he and activities and everybody's so antsy and chopping at the bit to get back to normal, and we're
Right.
all navigating the waters of what is normal and try to think outside the box. And it's been really cool to see Ross get creative with doing so much on TV and try to get the packets out to everybody. And Winterfest, it's now here, and try to expand on what we're all dealing with, but not stop. I mean, that's
Right.
the whole thing. Safely have fun and move forward.
Even doing the carnival in all the courts. That
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cool.
Wasn't
Did you
it?
go to any of those?
I did.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
great.
so good.
How nice of you. I mean, that was such a cool deal.
All right.
know.
Okay.
We got to talk.
Okay.
You're here because you were nominated.
Yes.
And
By your adorable
Okay,
friend.
so back up. So what was your first thought when you heard that she nominated you and you had to come?
Because she's a crazy lady and she's a good friend and she's the captain of my bowling team. And when I joined Wii Bowling, she was on. So glad that I joined because they only had 3 on their team for the longest time.
Oh,
So she was so glad. So we have been really good friends ever
Okay.
since
Yes.
I moved
All right.
here.
She
Very
said that too.
Yeah, she's something
She's a-
else.
she's
But
a-
adorable.
She talks so high of you, and I mean, she just raves and raves about your commitment to Glencroft
Yes, and
how
all
you
you
inspire
do.
so many because you didn't
I
let
do.
all of that happen to you bring you down, and
Right.
you continue to move forward.
And so many
press.
people have asked me, but I have to tell you this really.
Okay.
2 people that have lost limbs or going to lose have asked to talk to me and
Yeah.
asked me how I can be so up about it.
Yeah.
I just said, what are you gonna do? Sit around and cry?
Right.
What good is that?
But
Well,
that's-
and see, that is part of why we go through things, right? Is to help the next person because
yeah.
you know how it feels. Others can guess or figure they know, but you do know.
Everybody just says, Nancy, you inspire me, and that makes me feel good. It really
Yes.
makes me feel
But you
good. I
do.
don't think anything about it.
Right.
Right.
That's
who you
but
are.
others do.
But others do.
You really do. Absolutely. So who, it's the moment.
Yeah, okay.
We talked about you inspiring, but who inspires you? Who's going to be here next week in front of us?
I think Mr. John Smith has got to be.
John Smith. Okay.
He is so awesome. I love that man. He has been another friend since I moved in here, because he was like one of the first people I met before I started Wii Bowling.
Yes.
John Smith.
Right.
And I see all the things he does. He helps goes and sits with hospice people. He's so involved with Glencroft.
That's right.
And he got me involved with Glencroft. I love him to death.
He is
And
the
there's
mayor of
nothing-
Glencroft.
He is the mayor.
He is
and
the mayor.
he does so many things. We were talking a little before of that are just, he's very humble because he does a lot you don't know.
Right.
Yep,
I mean,
behind the scenes.
There's a lot we do know, and he does so much more. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy you
Yeah,
picked.
that's a great
I haven't even
nomination.
told him, but
Oh, we'll let him watch
well,
it.
I was
Monday.
thinking about
That's
Let
right.
him see. Hey, tune in, John.
Tune in, John.
That's a great nomination.
He's the best. He really is, and he would do anything in the world for anybody. I know he would.
Yep.
Well,
Good choice.
You have inspired a ton. We're thankful you came on here to tell your story, and I think that part of the segment is so fun to hear what brought you here, and because
So
you're
fun.
inspiring to so many, just what your background is. I think it's fun. So
Yeah.
you.
I appreciate
Thank you for
guys.
sharing.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Got it. We are so excited today to be joined by Scott Urlacher. No related to Brian Urlacher, Hall of Fame football. Wrong spelling.
Wrong spelling.
You're an E, he's a U. But Scott, tell us about what you do for Glencroft. You're an integral part of the transportation and shuttle and everything in that world. Tell us what your title is and what you do.
Well, transportation driver, typically just taking people to different outings,
Okay.
golf outings, store, shopping, medical, appointments that they need to attend.
Okay.
But it's pretty basic, straightforward stuff, to be honest with you.
I bet when we've gotten to work together with our golf guys, and we'll dive into that in a little bit. But the shuttle that you drive is the big guy that holds. How many does the shuttle that we take go?
It'll hold 12.
It'll hold 12.
Yeah.
Now, with the COVID situation, have you taken that number down? Or generally, it's lower.
We're limited to 6.
Okay.
One person on each aisle.
Okay. Interesting. So that's one of our main shuttles we use for obviously transportation of groups to various things.
Bell Road shuttle.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah.
How many in your fleet? How many other shuttles do you guys have? I get that question a lot from residents.
We have 3 buses that size.
Okay.
One currently is at our sister company. What's it? Oh no, I can't remember the name.
Coulter Commons?
Coulter Commons.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So one's over there, so we have 2 of those.
We have 2 here on campus.
All right. And then you have any smaller that
Yes,
we utilize?
we've got 2 vans, mobility vans
Yep.
for people in wheelchairs and such. That's Scion and also a Chrysler 200.
Okay. All right. So if somebody needed to get transportation farther away than just the proximity of going to Walgreens or whatnot, generally for one person, what do they get in? Do they have a small that they get in the van or?
What, one person
Mm-hmm.
going like? No, the mobility vans are typically used. They're just like a small, like a minivan size vehicle.
Okay.
And that would be typically if they're like in a wheelchair or
Sure.
something.
Okay,
But
that's
yeah.
good. I get that question all the
I
time.
know,
If
I
I just
do
wanted
too.
to go there, what one am I getting? Am I getting the big van? Like they think they're renting out the whole party bus?
There are occasions when they may get the big bus, but
Okay.
that's only if the other 2 are being utilized.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Well, it's a great service. I know a lot of
And
our
how do
residents
they-
take advantage.
How do they do it? How do they make their reservation?
Oh, they would call Stephanie, the
Okay,
concierge.
concierge.
and she would
Okay,
be the
and
one.
she
And you want to
schedules
give,
them.
from what I understand, at least a 2-week notice so they can make the scheduling and stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's good to know. So if you have a doctor's appointment, you need to schedule
Precisely,
with that.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
And there's a certain radius that you guys provide, and then if you get outside that, there's a charge to it.
Exactly right. And I'm not sure exactly what the radius
Okay.
and distance is. I'm going to say 5 miles maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But we have a pamphlet that they can look at that tells you
Good,
and shows
okay.
that.
I think
a
that's
nice service.
It's a great service.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, so
Really
many of our
is.
residents have cars, but so many don't. And they're
Right.
reliant on family or friends, but having the ability to work with you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm going to back up to what we started talking about in the golf stuff, to see the professionalism that he has with our residents in driving. I mean, we have a good time.
It is, and it's a great group of people.
It is.
Yeah, it really is a great group of people. I enjoy taking them out there.
But they all compliment on his just positivity and got the music going, and it feels like a safe environment. I mean, we're spread out in there.
We've got the Christmas station on.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
And he's like a tour guide, though. And here is the fries with the bar.
I like that, yes.
But going over to the Wigwam, because you've taken us over there now, what, maybe 4 or 5 times?
Sure. Yeah.
Now you're talking about the PIP.
With the Parkinson's golf.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, and like clockwork, 1:15, these guys are ready to go. And
That's
it's
awesome.
just seamless. We roll in, we got the big golf bag, we load them up, and we're off and running, and it takes us, what,
25 minutes,
25,
I believe, to get
depending
there.
on the train?
Sure.
Yeah,
we got hit by the
Stuck
train on
twice
day
by
one.
that train.
Yeah.
But then you were able to drop us off and then just position yourself right outside of the front gates of Wigwam and just hang and wait, and it's just awesome.
It
I
is.
mean, our residents really appreciate you and that ability to go do, because it's one thing for us to create really cool programs, but we got to be able to execute
Right.
and be able to facilitate driving. It's hard, because I know when I took one of our residents to do a first test run at this and over the walls of Wigwam, he went with me, and it was just hard. It was hard to navigate him in the car, and it's just that shuttle's so seamless.
Yes.
It's just awesome.
It kind of just makes it more fun and seamless.
It's a group.
For
It's
the group.
we have a good time.
Well, so how often are you driving? I mean, do you
Daily.
drive from the time you get to work till the time you go home?
For the most part, there may be some laps. When we have a run, maybe it starts at 9. I get it in 8.
Yeah.
And at that time, you'll use that time to do preventive maintenance on the vehicles, check out the oil and everything.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. So where'd you live prior to Phoenix, or what's been your route to Glencroft?
Route to Glencroft, my wife started working here in 92.
Oh,
Right. And about 4 years, no, longer than that, about 6 years ago, I retired and we left the country for a while.
Where'd you go?
To the Philippine Islands. That's a whole nother long story. But we came back.
Okay. Was it a
And-
good story?
No, it's all good. Yeah,
Oh,
we had a
good.
good time. But
I
family, everything draws you back. I've got a
Yeah.
granddaughter. And
Yeah.
So we came back, and my wife came into work, and really just to see some old coworkers and some of the residents that she really adores. And right away, oh, you're coming back to work. And she's, I'm not.
And she's over at Providence Place.
That's correct. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And they
And what
hired her
does she
back
do
that
over
day.
there?
She's a nurse. She's a caregiver there. And they hired her right back, and they said, go to HR right now. And I happened to be with her, so I escorted her to HR with really no intention for looking for anything.
Okay.
And at that point, I'm like, you guys looking for maybe maintenance or something? Well, we need drivers. I can drive. And then that's how I ended up getting
So
here.
what year was that? How long ago was that?
2.5 years ago.
2.5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
how long
a
I've been here.
great story. So
My mother
she,
lived here. My mother was
Oh.
at Providence Place. She lived in 1 South. She passed 3 years ago, September.
Oh.
But she was here and treated phenomenally well. Yeah.
So you've got real perspective
Deep
on
roots.
this campus.
Deep roots,
Deep
yeah.
roots at Glencroft.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
So your wife was here from 92 till when? I'm just interested in all
And
these.
back. 2014?
Wow, that's a long run.
Yeah. And then came back, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's here right now.
That's
Right.
great.
Yes. Yeah.
So with COVID hitting us so hard and then that building so hard, what was her perspective like navigating the waters of COVID in Providence Place?
Well, she was one of the few, very few, that volunteered to go into that lockdown. You remember they had the right, and so, I mean, she's tough. She knows that we have to take care of the residents, and I think that she's completely adored over there. By the way, they just love her. And yeah. So, I mean, she'll do anything for her residents. Quite honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's what we all said about staff in general on this campus, but specific to that building is that those that are in their heart and wired that way for the building stepped up, and those that
Yes,
were there
they
for
did.
paycheck backed down. And
You're absolutely right.
that's
the
how it-
ones that stick around are really good, wholehearted people. I've
Right.
noticed that. Absolutely.
that's right.
Right, and they do have the residents at heart. It's hard. They get in your heart. It's hard not
Without
to.
a doubt. Yeah.
Well, I think it's cool to have bookends, spouses working in the same. Do you guys run across, or do you have lunch, or do you guys find some time throughout the day? You don't really see
not
her?
really. No.
Do you drive her to work?
We walk now. We have a house just, 64th Avenue and like Alice is where we live. Just
no.
right here. Yeah.
You walk
Wow.
over.
Yeah.
I love that
6 or 10
too.
minutes.
How long have you lived there? Is that?
That's pretty recent too.
okay.
Because, yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's super cool.
I know. I wish we had a long time because I would love to hear about your
The Philippines?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Geez.
How many years were you there?
About 4.
And what took you there?
My wife is Filipino.
Okay.
So that was when I met her. I was in the military, and that was always our goal, was to retire early and build a beach house, and we did that.
Okay.
And then we discovered, America's not too bad. I think we're going home now. Plus, like I said, we missed
Right.
we had a
You have
granddaughter.
family
But you got
here.
a bucket
And
list item checked.
Absolutely, yeah.
Built
I-
up beach house in the Philippines.
And yeah,
I
if you ever
got-
want to
see,
go to the
I
Philippines,
love that idea.
So what branch of the service were you in?
Navy.
Navy guy.
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you in there?
6 years.
6 years. Okay. Well, salute to service.
Yes.
We were on that shuttle on Veterans Day, and it's just a fun atmosphere to be around this kind of a campus with war veterans and the perspective that they have.
A lot
And
of
being
them.
at the veterans dinner that night of
Yep.
the golf and the night, it was just a fun day to be out and about with everybody like that.
It's going to be great once they can start opening up all the activities that they
Yes.
typically do around
Right.
here, with everything being shut down
Yeah,
currently.
absolutely.
They have so many things going on.
I know.
The movie nights and they've got dinner clubs that have not been able to go out.
Right.
It's going to be nice once everything
I
gets back
know.
to some kind of normal.
that's-
So
that
did you
vaccine's
drive for
coming.
those? For that?
Occasionally,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Good. Well, we appreciate you being
Yes.
here.
It's been fun.
It's fun to get perspective, especially with somebody whose spouse has been
I
in
know,
the
and your
long haul.
mom. I mean, that's a really
Great
good
story.
story. Uh-huh.
Very cool. All right. Appreciate you, Scott. What a show! Kay Baker.
Yes, Steve Heller.
I mean-
It was. It's awesome.
I love ZoeTV.
I do too. I really do.
I don't know what this resident of inspiration is going to keep evolving to, but the people that we get to talk to because of it is something that I look forward to every week.
I know, me too. I think what it is, it sums up why we love our job. Because the people we get to work with,
Yeah.
the residents we get to know, they really are the reason we come to work.
They really are.
I mean, the money's good because we need
we
to
got to feed
eat. And
I got 2 high school boys that just keep eating.
yes, and yeah, I have a house that's got to keep paying for.
But I will tell you, every time that we're about to film ZoeTV and I'm doing the walk over to the studio, I am so excited to hear from our employee spotlight because, like we talked about earlier, you don't know so much of how somebody is wired and what brought them here until you actually ask them those questions.
I know.
I mean, you could have a lunch with somebody and, just talk what news, weather, sports, but you get into like, what fires you up? What brought you to Glencroft? I think that always is such a cool conversation.
I agree. I totally agree. I couldn't say it better. It's what reminds you that everybody has a backstory. So your assumptions aren't always true.
No.
And it's so good to actually ask the questions.
Yeah, you're right.
And listen and figure out that we've all been on different journeys. And thankfully, we can come together.
Well, I think Scott Urlacher summed it up best when he was saying, he came to Glencroft without even pursuing a job.
Right.
He was here escorting his wife who was working at Providence
Just to
Place
say hi.
to say hi.
I know.
And having the context of, man, she's worked here since the 90s
Mm-hmm.
and be able to see this campus and have his mom here and see the dynamics of this campus.
Right,
And
inside
the deep
out.
roots that he said he has. And when HR said, we need a driver, he's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
how
know.
cool is that?
Very cool.
So, Scott, we appreciate your service.
Right.
Military.
In all kinds of areas. Right.
And service to this campus in terms of transportation, because I know personally, watching my mom, who's now been on campus for almost a month, being driven to Mayo Clinic, being driven to urgent care, been driven around the city, it's instrumental. You have to have this kind of service.
Yes, you do.
And you have to have it with a smile. And our service guys and shuttle drivers, and they are the quickest ones to smile on this campus.
I agree.
All right, resident inspiration.
Oh,
Nancy,
she was great.
she was fantastic.
Yes.
She is loved on a lot on this campus.
I know.
Residents always seem to bring her name up when they're talking about not only the marketplace, but just again in the context of inspiration.
Right.
When you
Living
see
her
somebody
life.
that is, where she's at physically, but doesn't hold her back. And
Right.
she uses it as a platform to be happy and to be like, she said it best, I could sit here and cry, but what's the good in that? Like,
Right. Living her life.
I got to live my best life.
Right.
And to hear that others in the same circumstances are looking to her for some guidance and some clarity on what could be coming, I mean, that's just what it's all about.
It is.
So, Nancy DePaul, great job.
Fabulous. Yes.
John Smith,
Oh,
we're sorry, but we got to spend more time with you,
I know.
right?
Oh, we love him.
The mayor. He's everywhere on this campus, behind the scenes.
He is.
In front of the scenes.
Right.
John Smith is John Smith.
Like what you think he does is only half of it.
Yeah,
Because he's always helping someone. He's always looking out for someone, always taking care.
and you know what? And he's had his fair share of personal, physical stuff go on.
Of course.
And when you talk to him, it's always a smile, and it's always, oh, I'm okay. I'm dealing with this hip and this back, but I want to talk to you about this other thing that
Right.
I need help with for this resident. It's always deflecting to somebody else.
I know. I agree.
And I think that's kudos to John. I'll be very curious who he nominates, because
Yes.
his nomination role could go anywhere.
Right,
He touches
exactly.
on everybody. I
And
can't
we've
wait.
said that. We like that it's going around campus, not
do.
just staying in one
That's it.
area.
So we are excited about next week. We're excited about this week. You only have a few of your pen pal cards left.
only 2. I have 2 pen pals left on my desk waiting for someone
How
to
many
pick
do
them
you
up.
think you started with?
I started with 30.
Wow, that's pretty
And
good.
so I literally have 2 left, and I'm hoping, I've heard back from a couple people that they've really had fun. So I'm hoping if you're out there and you'd like to have a pen pal, you would call me, because I'm sure it would be fun for both of you.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, our show is concluded.
It was a
Until
good
next
one.
week,
Yep.
we've got Winterfest this whole week. We've got
Yes.
action. The weather's cool. The lights are up.
Yes. Good job on those, by the way. You
I
did
was
a nice
happy. I
job.
love that kind of stuff. I don't like taking them down. I like putting
I
them
know.
up.
I think that's everybody, though, don't you?
You
I
did great in
mean,
the auditorium. It looks beautiful in
Well,
there.
thank you.
I think it's that whole scene. And now Peacekeeper's Garden has been cleaned and
Yeah,
restained
I
and
love
new
it.
flowers. I mean, from start to finish, down the pool, I mean, that's...
It's beautiful.
It is absolutely beautiful. So with that, this is a busy week.
Yes, it is.
When isn't a busy week at Glencroft?
Exactly.
See you guys next time.